We have big developments coming in from the top court at this hour. The Supreme Court has issued a notice to the centre in all pleas filed challenging the CAA and grants 4 weeks' time to respond. The centre wanted more time. However, a period of 4 weeks' time is what the top court has agreed to. CJI says that Assam and Tripura matters will be clubbed together to be dealt with separately. So a couple of developments which Meenakshi has been updating us with, and I'm just going to go through some of them. The Supreme Court has said no ex parte stay on CAA or NPR. The CJI agrees to list the pleas with regards to Assam separately. So those will be dealt with in complete variance with the other pleas. They will be dealt with separately. Kapil Sibal had urged for the CAA process to be postponed. The Supreme Court has issued a notice to the centre in all the pleas, and the centre will have to now respond within a period of 4 weeks. So issues with regards to Assam and Tripura to be clubbed together and dealt with separately. For the rest of the pleas, the top court has given a notice to the centre to respond on these pleas within a period of 4 weeks. Also, the Supreme Court has stated very clearly that there will be no ex parte stay on the CAA or NPR. Remember, that was one of the core points of some of the petitions there, where the petitioners wanted a stay on the legislation, which has already come into force on the 10th of January. My colleague Meenakshi Bhanja has been tracking all the developments from the top court since morning, and she has sent us all the inputs that we've gathered so far. So I'll just toss the word to Meenakshi to bring us up to speed with the latest. Meenakshi.
Well, at the outset, there were a host of petitions that the Supreme Court was seized of today. There were petitions which were favouring CA. There were petitions obviously challenging CA. There were 3 petitions filed by the Union government which is seeking for a transfer of all the cases pending in various high courts to the Supreme Court. So there was initially some crowd control issue because it was extremely jam-packed and completely chock-a-block, the courtroom. But the Honourable Chief Justice of India indicating one thing very clearly, and this was to demands put forth by even senior advocates and MPs like Mr. Kapil Sibal, that the Supreme Court will not be passing any interim stay or any ex parte stay on this issue. Then there was this issue of whether this should be a case that can be referred to a larger bench composition from the present 3-judge bench composition, that the Supreme Court has indicated that it may very well consider that prayer to transfer this case to a larger bench composition. Then we had submissions from Abhishek Manu Singhvi also for one of the petitioners challenging this law, saying that without having a proper procedure in place in some parts of UP, there are citizens who are already being marked up, aside as being doubtful citizens. So the Supreme Court's intervention is required there as well. The Supreme Court then went on to segregate the cases related to Assam from these batch of pleas which is challenging the overall constitutional validity of the CA. Remember, in Assam, the situation is a little more advanced because the NRC list there is in the final phases of preparation, and therefore the attorney also importantly favoured for the Assam-related matters to be detagged from those matters which are challenging the constitutional validity of the CEA. Interestingly, the attorney at one point in time during the hearing went on to state this, Afrida, that the Assam NRC will not be operational till the final draft is published by the Registrar General of India. So the Supreme Court has detagged the Assam-related pleas pertaining to NRC from this whole bunch of pleas that are challenging the constitutional validity of the CEA. But at the end of the day, what has transpired today is a lot of debate and discussion on the road ahead that is to be taken, the format in which these hearings have to be conducted, and the Supreme Court has granted 4 more weeks to the central government to file its respective reply in over 140 petitions which are challenging the validity of the CAA. And the Supreme Court also today has declined to pass any interim orders for now. So this is a matter which now at least stands adjourned for 4 more weeks.
Okay, so no interim order, but going forward, Meenakshi, when we say that the centre has been served a notice to respond within a 4 weeks period, of course, keeping the Assam and the Tripura matters aside for now, what does it mean? Will they have to respond to the issues raised by the petitioners in these entire over 140 petitions?
Well, yes, of course, the government was already given time to respond to these issues when the matter was featured last time. But the government pleaded for more time because the government said that these are over 80 and 90 petitions that it has to respond to. And today the government was looking for 6 more weeks' time. Instead of 6 weeks, the Supreme Court has agreed to grant 4 more weeks' time to the central government to file its respective responses to these various petitions which are challenging several aspects of the CAA. Right. Interestingly, the takeaway today also is this, that the Assam-related pleas and also the Tripura-related pleas officially have been detagged from the original set of petitions which are challenging the validity of the CAA itself.
Yes, that's an important development, and that setting aside also shows that the dynamics and the overall politics in these two states are very, very different with regards to the CAA, NRC, as Meenakshi also highlighted a couple of points in that respect. Thanks very much for joining us.